Hello, welcome back to GS Simple. In this video I will show you how we can modify the symbology of our digital terrain model and how we can break down elevation values into classes. As you may recall from our preceding video, this is a DTM representing Sicily. In this left part of the table of content, you can see the color scale that we are using to visualize this raster and to visualize the information about the elevation of the terrain. If we double click on the layer name in the table of content of ArcMap, we can see we can inspect the symbology tab. As I told you in a preceding video, here we have the color scale that ArcMap is using to represent the information about the elevation of the ground. And so the color scale is going from light green, representing the lowest values, to white, representing the highest values of the elevation. And so, as you may see from the DTM, white is actually used for a very high elevation value. Here is Mount Etna, is an active volcano, as you may know, in Sicily. And so the highest values of Mount Etna are given a white color. So this color scale is used to represent a continuum flow, so to say, of values. But sometimes it is also useful to break down the elevation values into classes to have a different visualization of the distribution of the elevation values across our study region. And we can do that right-clicking or double-clicking on the layer name in the table of content, and we select classified, and we can break down the elevation values into classes. So we can click on classify to enter this little menu, and we can use a different type of categorization for our elevation values. Let's assume that we want to use a defined interval. We can select the defined interval from this drop-down menu. And so, for example, we want the elevation values broken down into classes, and each class is based on a 500 meters interval. So we can write here in this field 500, and we click OK. And so, as you can see from this window, the elevation values are broken down in classes, and each class is actually including 500 meters. And so we can change our color scale. Let's stick with the one that we have previously selected, which is this one. We can click apply and click OK. And so you can see that the color scale has changed. But of course, we are not happy with this color scale because the interval is maybe too wide, the interval that we used. So we can double click on the name of the layer, we go to classify, and we define another interval, maybe 250 meters. Let's click OK, apply. And so in this case, as you can see, the elevation values are broken down into classes. And so, for example, here on the Mount Etna, this part of the landscape is given this green color, which is representing an elevation that goes between 500 and 750 meters, and so forth. But we can also use a different type of classification of the elevation values. We have different types of categorization. We could use the natural breaks. That is a method that was proposed by this guy, Jenks, and you can get some information from the online help of ArcMap about the natural breaks Jenks. The natural breaks classes are based on natural groupings inherent in the data, and so forth. So this is a classification method that allows you to break down the elevation values according to some natural breaks embedded in the data. So let's try the natural breaks. We will select just, for example, 10 classes. Click OK, apply. And so, of course, we will not have equal interval classes, but classes that are reflecting some natural groupings in the distribution of the elevation values. Of course, we can get rid of this light blue part, which corresponds to the extent of the sea, and so we can double click on the layer, we can go on classify, and we, for example, we can give the first class a 0, and so we can click OK, and as you can see, the first class will be the one that goes from -12 to 0, and so is actually comprising the sea level. So click OK, and then we can give no color to the part that corresponds to the extent of the sea, and so we can again double click. We can click on this rectangle, set it to no color, click OK, and so we have just the extent of the land. So that's all for now. If you like this video, please give a thumb up and possibly subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.